Hey everyone, it's Irene, CBiz Media, Faith, Love, and Trends. We are going to do a quick take here. 90 Day Fiance. We're going to make it fast. Been busy, just recently out of town, so wasn't able to get the full deets on all of the episode, but I was able to get some bits here and there, so we're going to do a nice little quick take. All right, so for Sarper and Shekinah, you know, Dan is kind of the subject of their chat and argument that they're having after the comedy show when Sarper kind of uh, threw a blow Dan's way. And Shekinah's really severely standing up for Dan. We're not really sure why. And Sarper says he played the victim, and Shekinah's like, well, you played the villain, so he has reason to play the part that he played. So she really wants him to apologize to Dan. Why? Not really sure. She says she never slept with him, so it makes things, not so tense. It's not that serious. And Sarper's like, please don't talk about that. I'm trying to drink my coffee. I don't want to know. In any case, he goes to Dan's, I believe it's a castle, and apologizes to him. And Dan tries to prove that he's also a bad boy. He dated all the girls in their friend group. That just makes you kind of a little bit of I'd say a little bit of a jerk going through all your friends like that. And maybe a little bit desperate even. Don't know if that gives you bad boy qualities. Sarper talks about that she only dated him 3 times and they kissed, and of course he's going to brag and say, well, there may be more. Of course he's not going to say too much more of what it is, because I'm sure he wants to leave it to Sarper's imagination, so he will further want to, or should I say, unlife him. So, going a little bit tit for tat, Dan says, I upset you at the restaurant, you upset me at the club, let's call it a truce, we're even. But Dan's going to keep his eye on him. And Sarper says, okay, little brother is watching me, opposed to big brother. Dan is a little man. Joan and Greg plus Lucille. So Greg he's going to work. I think his first day at work at his new job. This is what Joan's been wanting, for him to really step up and get a good job so they can move out of Mom Lucille's house. So Lucille and Joan are making lunch for him, and he's talking about he has to watch his weight and all of these things. It's going to be awkward for him because he's been doing ride sharing. So it's going to be awkward for him to just do a regular 9-to-5 job because it's been some time. Of course, he gives the wifey-to-be a kiss goodbye. Mom Lucille's like, why are you lingering? You know you're late. So he heads out. But Joan's like, I have all my faith in you. And when you come back, you can do whatever you want. So I'm sure that it's some great initiative for him to keep going to this job. So she needs to get her dress altered, and she says she wants her calves out. She wants her booty to twerk in this dress. Sounds like a bride to me, right? All dressed in white. So Lucille is happy that she's able to take her to get some alterations on her dress, and this is going to be stepping stone to bring them closer. She says, do you want me to come in? She's like, not really. I want my family members to see me first. It's just kind of between us, and I need this moment with my family. So Lucille's like, okay, but you can tell she's hurt, and she needed or invited to this dress altering situation. But she said there's always payback. So she's giving me, Greg's giving me Guido. She's giving me, like, she used to be a queen pin in her former life. I don't know. But they do seem like they're with the family, like the mafia family. The accent really does it all. But just wonder what kind of payback she's going to get her. I understand that Joan wants to be close with her family and have this moment with them. But I don't see why she couldn't also tell her to come in maybe after the family sees it first and they chat, and then have her come in as well. Why can that not be a thing? Um, Joan is very set in the way she wants things to be done. But her girls FaceTime with her from Uganda and they're having fun chatting, talking, saying she looks great in this dress. But they're saddened that they're not going to be able to actually be there because there's no time to get them a K1 visitor visa in time. So it's kind of a sad and emotional moment, but it's a happy moment as well. I don't know, Joan, maybe you should watch that dress. I don't know what Lucille may have in mind for her payback. Sean and Aaliyah, they're getting married in a couple of weeks. And, Sean, I think he's working with one of his friends here. And they talk about the whole sexual reassignment situation with Aaliyah as far as, okay, if Aaliyah gets the actual surgery, where's that going to leave their marriage? And Sean's definitely saying it could be a deal breaker for him. As they're out on the beach, and I think Aaliyah's learning to rollerblade for the first time, these topics start to come up. And Sean's just like, just consider me. I know that you basically have ideas of what you want to do with your body and it's your life, but also I'm supposed to be marrying you, so consider me so I'll know what's going on. And he basically asked, I know you want to do the facial feminization of the face, and the other thing I believe was hormones. But he's like, do you want to do the reassignment? And at this time, Aaliyah says, that's not something that I'm thinking about. I know my choices affect you as well, but they're my choices. But I am keeping you in mind, which is the first time I heard that, but I guess it's a good thing. But Sean just says, hey, I had to be honest, it's too far for me as far as that reassignment. I don't know if I can follow through with this marriage. And I've been kind of skirting around the situation, but it's time to really say what's in my head, what my desires are. But again, Aaliyah says, at this time, I'm not thinking about that part, but I can't say that I never will. So I don't know if that's going to end the marriage. I don't know if he should go forward with the marriage and see what happens. To me, they're just kind of a big question mark. With Mina and Mark, it looks like Amina has her sister come down and they're looking at her wedding dress, and it's a beautiful time. It's a big dream for her, being a woman in white. It's kind of like a fairy tale come true. So she's having a great moment as she is trying on her wedding dress, and her day of marriage is looming. When it comes to the throuple, Matt, Amani, and Ani, we recently found out Ani is really Brenda. So that is the big situation with them. She says she wanted to tell them, and she didn't want the other guy, Ray, her ex, to tell him, but he basically did. It's confusing as to why she didn't tell it the information, but she said that they were fighting so much she didn't feel it was the best time to really talk about her real name. And she just doesn't want to fight anymore. Or are these crocodile tears or what? I mean, even Matt said that previously when she cried. This time now, Amani's saying it. Are these tears that you got found out, or is these tears something deeper? Anyway, they ask, okay, are you still married? Because that's what Ray is telling us, and she denies that she's still married. Ray then kind of tries to change his story and says he must have misunderstood her. So they end up leaving, and I'm sure they've lost trust between them because they, left Ani behind. There's more crocodile tears. She cries to the camera. But honestly, I don't know if these people are ever going to give up on this strange throuple idea, because I'm thinking it's so many holes into this relationship, so many holes in these stories. I don't think it's worth continuing this. Maddie and Stevie, the bachelor/bachelorette party at the burlesque show. A lot of different women with their tops off. Maddie is kind of surprised and shocked. It's a big culture shock for him. He ends up leaving, and Stevie's still sitting there enjoying herself, saying she hopes Maddie is okay. Saeed, his friend, was like, whose idea was this? This is just too much. Uh, Saeed says basically things can't get any worse after what's going on during this night. Stevie doesn't like Saeed's take on things and basically how he thinks their relationship is basically a bad idea, it's doomed to fail. But at the end of the day, Maddie decides to apologize to Stevie's friend that he was so upset that she painted her nude. And he doesn't want to impose his Iranian beliefs and mindset on Stevie as they go forward into this relationship, into this marriage. But for me, I feel like it's just kind of disrespectful for me if you have a bachelorette party and you don't keep me in mind, you don't keep my culture in mind, you don't keep, there's certain things that you see and it depends on if somebody else did this party and she had no clue. But even if she did, this kind of shows a lot of her personality and her character, and I see some mismatched things going on between them. And if that's something that he didn't want to have her painting all these women and topless, why would he want to go see a bunch of topless women live? I mean, it's like just adding fuel to the fire. I mean, it feels like a full-on setup here. Like, why would they put him in that scenario where he's still questioning whether his wife to-be is bisexual? And she, at the parts I saw, did not seem to be very bothered by what was going on. It's kind of like, Maddie, you have to deal with it. So I feel like these two people just really aren't on the same page, whether she's bisexual or not. A bachelorette party should be something that you both enjoy and have fun together. One person shouldn't be freaked out by what's going on. It's just making bad memories even before the whole wedding even begins. So I don't know what's next for them. It looks like Maddie is trying to conform to her ways. But I don't even know how religious he is. But I think anyone that has any type of religious connection, Christian or otherwise, not just Muslim or the belief system that he shares in his country, this might not be something that they want to do. Now, we all know bachelorette parties, especially in the U.S., have a certain stigma to it. It has a certain way of things. It's like you have to have a stripper, you have to drink. These are mandatory for bachelorette parties. That's not 100% the case. I've seen people do things other ways, and I've seen people of faith do things other ways. So this was not the only way to go. This is the way that Stevie and her friends believe that she should go. And again, it makes me think, he may be more conservative. There's a mishmash of thoughts and belief systems. There's always going to be a clash between them if that's the case. I don't think it's now just about the topless women, but it's about two people just not being on the same page as well, and they're going to always clash because they're not like-minded. That's just my final thoughts with those two. We're going to talk more 90 Day Fiance as well as some of these other reality shows we've been covering. I've been doing Caught in the Act. I've also been doing The Never Ever Mets recently. If you have any ideas of some more content I should do, please let me know. I think I'm going to be doing some of that more with 90 Day. I believe it's the one where there's Hunt for Love. I think I'm going to be doing that as well. So any thoughts, comments, questions, please drop them. And we'll talk more as we talk faith, love, and trends right here on CBiz Media. This is Irene. All the best. God bless.